When Epic Mickey Rebrushed was announced, there was a lot of noise in the community, as I'm sure you can imagine. We had almost no information about the game besides what little was shown at the Nintendo Partner Showcase on February 21st. But what made everything 100 times more complicated was only a few hours after the game was announced, leaks of the game began to surface. And in an attempt to try to make everything as clear as possible for people and to reduce misinformation that was going around, I made this Discord message, which I called the em-rebrushed-faq. And this FAQ message is what I'm going to be talking about today, to see how accurate it is in hindsight and to dispel any rumors about it as well. So let's start with clearing up some rumors that I've heard. You've probably seen a screenshot of this message sent by another user that wasn't me. This user actually wanted to remain anonymous and asked people to censor their username from the screenshot, but, well, they didn't get that luxury, unfortunately. But anyway, the point is, I am in fact the person that wrote this message. Another rumor was that this message was from the THQ Nordic Discord server. While I am in the THQ Nordic Discord server, and I'm sure it was shared there at one point, that's not where the original message comes from. I wrote this message for the Function Point Discord server, which is also where all of the leaks came from in the first place. And one last rumor I heard one time was that this message was a transcription of an interview, but this is also not true. The Function Point Discord server was super busy that day. Epic Mickey Rebrushed got announced, and then the leaks happened, and people found out that the leaks came from the Function Point Discord server, and all of those things was bringing a lot of new people to the server. And to be honest, pretty much everyone was in the dark about everything. Everyone was asking all sorts of questions, and nobody really had any answers or any idea of what they were even talking about. So to try to keep information organized and clear, I made the FAQ message based on my own personal knowledge of what I had seen in the trailer and the leaks. After that, I put the message in its own channel, called the channel em-rebrushed-faq, and asked people to read the FAQ before asking questions about Rebrushed. So no, this was not an interview. All I did was make a list of common questions I'd been seeing and gave my own best answers for them to try to make everything more clear for people. But as far as rumors go, hopefully that clears things up. If there's more questions you have, then you're always free to ask in the comments. But anyway, let's look at the actual questions themselves. The first common question was, what is the release date for Epic Mickey Rebrushed? To which I answered Q2 2024, April is the most likely with May or June at the latest.
Liar, liar, plants for hire.
Obviously, we know that this is not true at all, and that the release date for the game was September 24th. The reason I said Q2 was when Rebrushed was going to come out is because that's what the leaker said several times. But of course, we would get an official release date on June 25th with the Collector's Edition trailer that was released that day. Ironically, the release date in Collector's Edition was also leaked and wasn't even supposed to be officially announced until later, but THQ Nordic decided to announce it sooner because of the leaks. Let's move on to the next one. What platforms will Epic Mickey Rebrushed be on? Switch, PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, and PS5. This one is entirely correct, as those are all the platforms the game is on. At the time, I got this information from the official Epic Mickey Rebrushed website at epicmickey.thqnordic.com, which I also linked at the bottom of the message. That's about all there is to say for this one, so let's look at the next question, which is a pretty big one. Will there be remakes of Epic Mickey 2 or Epic Mickey Power of Illusion, or will there be DLC for Epic Mickey Rebrushed? There is currently no plans for remaking any Epic Mickey game besides the first game on the Wii. However, if Epic Mickey Rebrushed performs well in sales, then more Epic Mickey content is more likely. I would say that this one is still pretty accurate. At the time, I was confident in saying that there wasn't any DLC or any other games in development because that's what the leaker said. But now we know for sure that this is the case because of an interview that Purple Lamp did with VGC on August 22nd that had this to say. If Rebrushed sells well enough and demonstrates that an audience remains for this darker take on Mickey Mouse, Purple Lamp tells me it's keeping everything crossed that it'll get the green light to start on a remake of Epic Mickey 2. So based on that last part, that pretty much confirms that they haven't started on a remake of EM2, which seems like their next goal for the Epic Mickey franchise. And this quote from the interview also lines up with what I said about Epic Mickey Rebrushed performing well in sales and stuff. I actually have a separate video about this whole idea, so if you want a more in-depth explanation of my opinion on it, then go and check that out. But for now, let's move on to the next one. Will there be new features? Yes, Mickey's moveset will be expanded to include dashing, ground pounding, and sprinting. The game will also feature a photo mode. All of these things are actually true. We found out that all of these features were going to be included in the game thanks to a couple of leaked videos. And now that the game is out, we can all see for ourselves that all of those features were implemented into the final game. Will there be full voice acting? No, the grunts from the original Epic Mickey game will be upscaled and reused and rebrushed. As disappointing as it might be to some people, yes, this is true. All of the characters keep their short grunt sound effects, also known as barks, from the original game and aren't fully voiced. I personally prefer the barks compared to full voice acting because I think it helps contribute to the overall atmosphere of the game. Furthermore, Purple Lamp didn't record any new voice lines for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, so I wasn't expecting them to record voice lines for Rebrushed either. Anyway, let's take a look at the next one. Will the game have motion or touch controls? No, Rebrushed will not have motion or touch controls. Well, this one is half true. I said that there wasn't going to be motion controls or touch controls simply because that's what I heard from the leaker. But it's possible that these features just weren't implemented yet in the early build that the leaker showed us. Anyway, Rebrushed does have motion controls but not touch controls. What I mean by touch controls is tapping on the screen to control the game, which would really only be possible on the Switch version and on the Steam Deck. The next one is really cool but also pretty disappointing at the same time. Will scrapped areas such as Wonderland return in Rebrushed? No, Wonderland, Mambo Jumbo, etc. will not be in Rebrushed as they were re-scrapped. Unfortunately, this is true, and we never got to see Wonderland or Mambo Jumbo for ourselves. Something kinda funny is that Wonderland was planned and scrapped for Epic Mickey 2, Epic Mickey Power of Illusion, and now Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which is every single Epic Mickey game. At least the two levels got further in development than Wonderland did in the other games. But at the end of the day, I guess Wonderland and Epic Mickey just wasn't meant to be. The next one is a pretty quick and easy question. What engine is the game developed in? Epic Mickey Rebrushed is made in Unreal Engine 4. Yep, that one's true as well. When I wrote this, I learned that the game was using Unreal Engine 4 because of the leaks. But yeah, Epic Mickey Rebrushed does use Unreal 4. Now for the next one, which is another pretty easy one. Who is developing the game? Epic Mickey Rebrushed is being developed by Purple Lamp, the same team behind SpongeBob SquarePants, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and Cosmic Shake. The game is being published by THQ Nordic. Both of these things are true. Purple Lamp was in charge of the actual development of the game, and THQ Nordic handled all of the publishing, marketing, and all that other stuff. There were some misconceptions that THQ Nordic were the developers of the game, but of course we know now that that's not the case. The team behind Rebrushed seems to be super passionate about the game and the Epic Mickey franchise as a whole, so I'm glad that the franchise is in good hands. Now for the last question. Are there new cutscenes in Epic Mickey Rebrushed? The 2D cutscenes animated by Powerhouse will be reused from the original Epic Mickey game. However, the 3D cutscenes like the intro cutscene were remade by Plastic Wax, which is the same company that made the 3D cutscenes in Epic Mickey 2. That was a long answer, but it is indeed all true. The 2D cutscenes were taken from the original game and upscaled to 4K. Then the 3D cutscenes were made by Plastic Wax, which is the same studio that made the 3D cutscenes for the original game in Epic Mickey 2. And that's all of the common questions that I decided to answer for the FAQ. Looking back, I'm honestly kind of surprised at how accurate it was, even though a few things are admittedly wrong. I know that with these kinds of things regarding leaks, people put in wrong information on purpose to throw people off, but in this case it was honestly just my own fault. It's also kind of crazy to think about how this message that I wrote so hastily ended up being spread around alongside the leaks and reached so many people. Hopefully this video was able to clear everything up regarding this message for you. Be sure to share this video with your friends so they're not confused either. Like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Epic Mickey content, and join the Discord server in the description. Hopefully I can see you all there.